Welcome to Green and Glamorous. Today I will show you how to make superb half moon omelette. So if you haven't clicked my subscribe button or have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Click that subscribe button under the screen to subscribe to my channel, and I will post various videos, and in that way you wouldn't miss anything. So you haven't done yet, I'll give you some a moment to do that while I put the pans and stuff, and in a moment I will show you how to cook the easiest way to cook the omelette. So before we cooking the omelette, we'll prepare the filling. We'll saute the filling. So today I decided to cook mushroom omelette. So I have here chopped, fine chopped mushroom. I have lots of yellow onion to go with, and I have this beautifully chopped red pepper, and I have a little pinch of, as you can see, chili pepper. So I like to make things a little spicy. Comté cheese. So this is a very good cheese. There could be various flavor and the same type of cheese, but this cheese I got from Costco. For the price, it was a very good quality cheese. So if you never tried this type of cheese, Comté, so you could buy and try it. So I think that this cheese would go really good with mushroom. It has a sort of like a little cheesy flavor that's really would be good. So, and behind that you see that my cilantro that I posted a video of a few days ago, and you see that it's still the cilantro is still fresh. So today in the cheese, you could use cilantro in your omelette, but today I'm not going to use it because I want this cheese flavor to really go with the mushroom, not overwhelming that cilantro flavor to compete with that. And here's my guest for waiting for the omelette. They are eagerly waiting, having coffee and working in the computer. So here I'm cooking the onion first. So first on pan I put in some canola oil. You could use vegetable oil also, but do not use olive oil. So remember that not olive oil is good for every type of cooking. So this is I'm sauteing, so you shouldn't use. It will produce lots of heat while I'm cooking. So do not use olive oil. So, and I will next add the mushroom. I cook the onion first because onion has lots of water, so I wanted to cook a little bit slightly brownish, so I know that it is. Now I'm adding this chili pepper, crushed chili pepper, to give this some spice. You don't have to do this part if you don't like you are more of a person that don't like that too much spice or anything with the chili pepper too much. So your choice. I will say that anything you cook, you don't have to follow recipe. If you trying to cook something with the recipe, that always you think your mind will be bound to that recipe. So you see the recipe, you get the idea, and just cook as you naturally. So you don't have to follow every step of the recipe. So maybe first few times you will make mistake, but in this way you will learn the basic principle of cooking. And if you start following someone's recipe on instruction, you just you're learning how to follow instruction. You're not being creative. And in a situation you don't have one ingredient out of the recipe, so how do I cook it? No, you don't have to have all the ingredients. You always can. Also your taste. If you like something, you could add If you don't like certain types of ingredients, you can skip it. But you have to go based on some basic rules. And only by cooking you can achieve that. Also, I'm grabbing my spice from my spice rack, some cumin. I decided that maybe I cooked mushroom before, sauteed, and cumin goes, powdered cumin, a little pinch of powdered cumin goes very well with mushroom. So I'll add it just a bit. Again, I said that I want to have that cheese flavor really strong, so I don't want to have any other spice overwhelming that cheese taste. So anyway, this is the shelf that I actually hand built, and this is like a 6-inch wide. And this type of shelf, as you see that I have different spice put on. I will discuss this shelf building in a different video. So if you subscribe, you will come back and you will see that video. So as you see that after 5 minutes of cooking, the mushroom pretty much cooked. The onion got much more caramelized, and this is the time that I will add the pepper. Red pepper added, and the reason that I added red pepper at the end, because the pepper also has a lot of water content, and pepper is a vegetable that you don't need to cook a lot. Sort of like crunchiness to the pepper, it tastes better. You can get really flavor and the taste of it. So if you could think of that, I have not added salt yet. So salt is the last thing that you have to add. If you add salt earlier part, that you couldn't saute this. So salt will release lots of water from vegetable, mushroom, anything. So that would be very difficult to. So salt, the amount of salt you like for your taste. There is no recipe for that. So you like a little salty, so you use more salt. If you don't like too much salt, just use low. So this is done. I just added salt and turned up the burner. So now next step that the filling is done. Next step is to actually make the omelette. So if tomato is used in omelette a lot, today I am not using tomatoes. So if you have tomatoes to use, cut them in a small pieces. So as you see that everything is very small, and it takes time a little bit. But if my chunks were bigger, it would be less time. Also, less taste. So things would not mix. So don't cut things a little bit smaller in size. So in that way that the ingredients will mix very well and the food will taste better. So if you adding tomatoes, do not add tomatoes while you are cooking. Tomato has a lot of water, and you could just have the tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, adding to it when you are cooking the omelette, and you just sprinkle a little bit. Same as goes for cheese. So this part I will show you how to cook the omelette, half moon omelette. So I have here the egg, and I just added a little bit of salt. That's it. It's better to add the salt so the egg is mixed with the salt. And I have the cheese that earlier I showed, and this is this saute mushroom and red pepper that I cooked. So I have a spoon ready, so while I'm cooking I'll just put that, scoop out the ingredients. And I have here also the same oil that I use. Okay, so is canola oil. So I will make another video about why you shouldn't use the olive oil in cooking, sauteing, or making omelette. So please come back and watch the video when I post it. I'll discuss that. And as you see that I'm using a whiskey bottle, Bowmore. So yeah, so I drink whiskey, and this is Scotch. I will talk about it also in a video about different types of the Scotch and my favorite Scotch that I keep at home. So for cooking, you have this same stainless steel fry pan that I used to saute. I cleaned it. So to make it good omelette, you have to stainless steel pan. You have to make it very clean. And I have this spatula, which is actually silicone covered, easy to use. And so lots of people who already know how to cook omelette, and they struggle with it, cooking omelette, and they don't know what type of pan they're supposed to use. Yes, that is true fact that a good pan make really different. So that would be a bit of a discussion on which type of pan you should use. I will make another video about the pan, but today this is the stainless 10.5 standard size fry pan I'm using. So next step, I will heat up the pan, so which is very important, temperature. So you might make mistake few times a little bit, but eventually you will learn. The best way to do is that you heat the pan, you put in oil, and you put in a little bit of a sample of the egg beater to see that how that cooks. So you know that the temperature is right. If it's quickly burning or something, so you could lower the temperatures and adjust the temperature. But for cooking a very good omelette, that temperature is very important. So you cannot have a very low temperature and slowly cook the omelette. It's not going to happen. So for that, you have to have a certain temperatures that once you put the egg beater, so within a 15 seconds, it should cook the most of the runny egg part. So I already had some oil, and I will actually kind of this way roll the oil to get to the edge, so the rim of the pan kind of had some oil, so it doesn't stick there when I put the omelette. So I will show you how I do the simple things to check that if it is heated right. So doing that, you can see that right away you have started to bubble, and you see within a pretty much 15 seconds or so it's pretty much cooked, and it's sort of not sticking. So that means that the temperature I have is pretty good, and I will move this around to get the oil at the edge. So next step, we will do the full scale omelette. So the sample is done, is doing pretty good, so temperature is good. So in this step, now I'm going to cook full scale omelette. So for this type of omelette, you would need a little thicker, because it has to hold the omelette. Usually 2.5 egg of a regular large size egg should be good. So as you see that I'm rolling to get that evenly distributed, and you see about 15 seconds is kind of like a no more runny one. So I will do sort of like a move this with edge, so I know that this is clean. A little more runny up. So I will, before I put that, I will make sure that it is not sticking to the pan. As you see, it will move, so I know that it is ready. But the omelette is still a little bit of a egg you can see has not been cooked. This is the time that you use to fill the half part of that omelette. And so this is because the other half will flip over on the top of this, so you want to make sure that you're spreading that filling in a half area. And this is the also time that I will use the cheese on the top. So kind of evenly distribute that so every area has cheese. So this is the time that you will flip, but if you want extra flavor, you could use little fresh ground pepper. And this is the grinder. I will talk about another video about the pepper grinder, why it is important, and what type of pepper grinder you can buy. So this is the time I will flip. So this is, so the cheese will melt it, and I will probably, if close that. I was talking, so usually I would prefer to have a little bit of a less cooked omelette. So omelette is is slightly less cooked is better. So now this is ready to serve on the plate, and you do this way that you pull. So this is a good way to put this on the plate. So you have this half because you probably will have a toast, bagel, or some fruit and other ingredient, other stuff go with your omelette. If you want to, so in that case that you can place your bread in this side or some fruit there. I finished cooking all of the 3 omelettes I cooked. So see that I'm serving with bagel, and within some bagel, some cream cheese if you like, or butter, whatever you prefer, and hot coffee. So this would be the great breakfast. So if you have, for example, have guests over for weekend, you could actually cook this and actually really can enjoy the omelette with your guest and impress them that how well you cook. As I mentioned that you don't have to follow recipe, use your instinct and learn. You're not going to make the best omelette at the first time. So you have to kind of keep going and making few, just follow the basic things. So don't buy into the recipe thing. So yeah, some people can follow and cook really good food following the recipe. Most of the people don't, and that's why they kind of moved away from cooking and things that they cannot cook. So I hope you enjoyed this video. So click the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. So I will post various video. I mentioned about the pepper mill, pan, oil, those kind of information. I will go about cooking, posting, so you will get more information. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Okay guys, how does it taste?
I think it's really good. I like the mushrooms with the red peppers.
Red pepper, yeah.
That's really good.
Can you smell the cheese? Okay, it's good. I mean, you could taste it. Okay. And?
I like the texture of the mushrooms, and everything is cooked perfectly. It's the egg tastes delicious. The cheese is a nice complement to the rest of the dish.